Ethereum is so deep and so rich an ecosystem with the number of people building on it that it's incredibly powerful. And everybody has to realize is whatever people think the narrative is in Bitcoin about Bitcoin being money, the reality is the medium of exchange in Web 3.0 is ETH. I mean, all NFTs are priced in ETH. Sotheby's are doing art auctions in ETH. DeFi is based in ETH generally. The metaverse is in ETH. I even commissioned a headquarters for Real Vision in Crypto Voxels. We got a metaverse architects firm to build it. They charge us in ETH. So ETH is money right now. Does it always remain money? Who knows? But right now, nobody pays each other in Web 3.0 and Bitcoin. Literally nobody. Yeah, I mean, I think it goes over 20,000, and I have done for a long time. And there's a potential for even further because of the staking dynamics and stuff. But my general view is that it goes to 20,000. That was, and I say that with a relative level of confidence. That's just a repeat of what Bitcoin did in 2017. It kind of overlays pretty well. It's not perfect. It was perfect for a while. The charts were like spooky tick for tick. Now they're not, but contextually kind of makes sense for me. It's only a 4x from here. I mean, we've seen Bitcoin do 4x or ETH last cycle did, 4x, 5x, 6x in the last month of the year. So who knows? I think the cycle extends anyway. I think it's not going to be the same Bitcoin halving cycle that we've seen. I think it's changed because of the nature of people who are in the market now as well, with the institutions coming in and others. So yeah, I think it goes further and higher than most people imagine. If ETH, we've just discussed, is so important to the current environment of where we are, arguably it's more important than Bitcoin because of how much is being built on it and is driving prices because of NFTs and DeFi and all these things moving the price of ETH. Then the ETH 2.0 staking, whenever that happens, and not the staking, the release of ETH 2.0, I think around that is the moment, because you kind of know. I know I've been arguing a bit on Twitter about this. I've always said that the moment it's released is probably a buy the rumor, sell the fact. And everyone's like, yeah, but my ETH's already going to be locked for a longer period. But I can front run you because I know you have to sell your ETH. You might sell your ETH as soon as you're unlocked. So why would I give you the benefit of higher prices to sell into? Markets know positions. So there's nothing worse than ETH 2.0 out, you're still locked, and I get to sell because I didn't stake, and you're trapped watching the prices fall. My structure of how I built my portfolio is I started with Bitcoin, moved into Ethereum, switched most of my Bitcoin into Ethereum, and then I built a basket of alternatives, and I just took an equally weighted basket of like 10, large cap, because I don't know, and then I watched it. I added Solana at some point into that, and didn't do anything else, just left it like that. What's fascinating is my second largest holding now, from an equally weighted basket, second to Ethereum, Sandbox. I haven't bought any. It just went up 20x in the last month and a half, which is crazy. I mean, I would not have my second largest. I would not take that position, the second largest position in Sandbox, but that's where it is. And I'm not rebalancing for the time being. I'm just letting this phase play out and see where these things go. So yes, it's a mix. And so I've got some DeFi protocols, the usual Aave and whatever, stuff like Uniswap. And then I've got stuff like Polkadot, just all the stuff you'd expect. Nothing interesting. It gets interesting because I put metaverse bets on 6 months ago. Those things exploded, Decentraland and Sandbox. And I have some social token bets with Chiliz and Rally. So those are slightly different because they're more macro thematic bets of what I think future things are. But it's hard now with Sandbox because it's gone up so much. It's like, is this a do I have enough conviction to have my second largest position in this? Crypto has been the best single way to teach myself how to do it. Because I've got a big picture framework, I've got a long-term risk reward, and I've learned to look at, I've got I've got an hourly chart of Ethereum next to me, and I watch it and I think, oh my God, it's going to roll over, it's going to do it. But I disassociate that from my P&L. I don't even look at my P&L. I look at it occasionally when the market's at all-time highs, but I just ignore it, because looking at the P&L makes you think, oh my God, I made and lost this much money today. And that becomes an emotional state of fear or euphoria. But if you're just looking at dispassionate price action, it's different. And I haven't always done that. And it's different with crypto because I don't use leverage. So I don't have to obsess over the price. But in macro, you tend to use a lot of leverage otherwise. And then you have to obsess over the price because you're going to get into deep trouble if it goes against you. So again, crypto's really taught me the joys of long-term investing, which I've always been a long-term investor, without leverage in something volatile enough that gives you high returns. And it's amazing. The best investment I have made is always in the life that I live. So in my lifestyle. People are too orientated by money, and it's actually the quality of life that you live is the goal of everything. So my investments in my quality of life, I live in nice houses, I live in a nice place, and I've gone out of my way to solve for that. Like I said, I wanted a tropical beach, so I went and found a way of doing it. I wanted to live in the Mediterranean, and I found a way of doing it. Which is that macro mindset of you kind of make your future. So that is my best investment by far, because it's the most important thing. And paying off my first mortgage, I bought a second home in Spain. It wasn't very expensive. It was quite a big house. But with my bonus, I bought the house, so it was in cash. And then I know I'd won the game because I could work in a bar. I could lose my job. Anything could happen and I'd be fine. Those kind of investments are the really meaningful ones. So yes, crypto, Ethereum has been my best ever investment from a P&L standpoint by a long way. And I've had some other great trades in my life, and I've had some absolutely terrible ones. My worst investment was not even single investments, because I don't really remember them. It's when in 2009, I overrode my macro framework when my economic indicators were starting to say the recession had bottomed and that the worst of the crisis was over. I overrode it with emotion and said, yeah, but we're going to have a double dip. This is always going to be worse. And so I remained short, and I didn't do what my homework was telling me, all of my macro framework. And that was a mistake I didn't make in 2020. I closed out all of those trades that I put on, the short trades, by end of March, April, almost at the lows. Now, I'm not saying I'm a hero for doing it, but I stuck to my framework.